The more things change, the more they stay the same. That's Iowa in EA Sports CFB 25, because my oh my do they have themselves a defense once again. Linebacker Jay Higgins grades out at 94 overall. He's the top linebacker in the game. And Nick Jackson, 90 overall, not too far behind. They're the top pair of linebackers in the game. Add in top pair of safeties and Sebastian Castro, 92 overall. Xavier Nwangpa at 90 overall. And there's a reason why the Hawkeyes have a top defense year in and year out. You know what's fun about video games? You play as Iowa's offense and score 60 points. For Iowa fans, it's probably good to blow off some steam. If you want to do that, we recommend getting the ball to the tight end position. This is the school who produced NFL tight ends like Sam Laporta, TJ Hawkinson, and George Kittle, and that's why you should get the ball to Luke Lachey, graded 88 overall. Addison Ostregna, 82 overall. They're the top-rated offensive skill players. Mike Gundy is 40 and then some by now, but Oklahoma State fans should be excited to grab the sticks for EA Sports CFB 25. When you have an All-American to play with and 96-rated Ollie Gordon, who comes in as the top running back in the game, and one of the top 3 players overall, what's not to love? You know what pairs nicely with an All-American running back? How about a stacked offensive line that has every starter coming back and all rated 80 or higher? Anything else you want to do with this offense is icing on the cake, because if your opponent can't stop the run, they're not winning. If the opponent commits to the run, though, just get the ball to star wide receiver Brennan Presley at 89 overall and laugh at the tears. The defense is there too, led by top linebacker duo in Nick Martin at 90 overall, Colin Oliver 88 overall, and a trio of defensive backs in Corey Black 84 overall, Kendall Daniels 84 overall, and Trey Rucker 81 overall. The back seven will be one of the better units in the Big 12. Arizona surged to the top of the sport last season, and Wildcat fans should be excited to play as their team in EA Sports CFB 25. It all starts with that quarterback to wide receiver connection. Noah Fafita, 89 overall, and a top 3 wide receiver in the game in 94 rated Tet McMillan. They're one of, if not the best pairs in the Big 12, and they're going to be an extremely entertaining pair to play with in this game. Add in 4 returning starters on the offensive line, anchored by star right tackle Jonas Avayanai at 90 overall. The Wildcats should be able to keep the offensive momentum they started last season. But don't sleep on linebacker Jacob Manu at 87 overall, Takario Davis, who's at 92 overall, and Gunnar Maldonado at 85 overall, Dalton Johnson at 83 overall, and you've got the makings of a solid back end. You know, the last time an EA Sports college football video game came out, I can't imagine even Kansas fans were excited to play with their team. It's amazing what a decade can do. The Jayhawks are a top 25 team with a quarterback at the helm that changes everything. Dynamic is the word that comes to mind when you talk about quarterback Jalen Daniels. He grades out as a 90 overall. He can do a little bit of everything, and at 88 speed, he'll be one of the most fun dual threat QBs to play with. Running back Devin Neal at 92 overall is a top 7 tailback in the game to pair with Daniels. With talented players in the defensive secondary like corner Kobe Bryant at 90 overall, Mello Dotson at 88 overall, and safety Marvin Grant at 87 overall, this Jayhawks team will not be an easy one to throw against. The Wolfpack are looking to flip the script from years past, as this team may rely on offense to win, especially in EA Sports CFB 25. Grayson McCall at 88 overall comes in as a top 3 quarterback in the ACC after transferring from Coastal Carolina, and his wide receiver 1, Kevin Concepcion at 89 overall, should be a highlight reel waiting to happen. Don't sleep on Noah Rogers being a great downfield target. He's rated 91 overall in the speed department. Behind a veteran offensive line, running back Jordan Waters at 84 overall should do some work for what may be one of the most underrated offense in college football. The defense may not live up to last year's unit, but it will still have key players who you can't ignore. Corner Aiden White at 88 overall is one of the top corners in the ACC, and safety Devon Boykin at 86 overall, along with Devin Van at 85 overall at defensive end, should make this a better pass defense unit than most in the Carolinas. Virginia Tech fans won't be the only ones learning the lyrics to Enter Sandman, because the Hokies are rounding back into form, and they'll be an intriguing team to play with in EA Sports CFB 25. They return top players at every major position, and not one may be more key to their success than dual threat quarterback Kyron Drones. He clocks in at 86 overall. He'll get the ball to key transfer portal addition wide receiver Allie Jennings at 87 overall. They're going to be a team with a power run game that's tough to stop behind an offensive line that brings back 4 starters. Complementing the offense, the defense should be stout against the pass. starting with edge player Antoine Powell-Ryland at 88 overall, and two of the ACC's best corners in Dorian Strong at 91 and Mansour Delane at 87. If you can master the strengths of this Hokie team, this will be an extremely underrated team to use against your friends. The Trojans of USC have been a fan favorite in EA CFB games of the past, and that shouldn't change much this season. Quarterback Miller Moss clocks in at 85 overall, but he's going to have some dynamic playmakers to create some easy offense. Zachariah Branch at wide receiver is rated 87 overall, and tight end Lake McCree is at 84. They also have the top-rated center in the game in Jonah Monheim. He ranks 92 overall. He anchors the trenches as this offense will run out of the gun, spreading you out, playing basketball on grass, and taking some shots from way downtown. The defense should be improved from last year, and it's headlined by Bear Alexander at defensive tackle, rated 88 overall, John Humphrey at corners, rated 88, DeCarlos Nicholson, 86 overall. Don't sleep on the Wisconsin Badgers in EA Sports CFB 25. They're a team trending up, and they're going to be a tough opponent for any team that jumps around with them. It all starts with quarterback Tyler Van Dyke, rated 83 overall. He'll get the ball to wide receiver Will Pauling, rated 86 overall. Once you get the passing game going, try handing it off to running back Ches Malusi, 84 overall. It's easier to do when you have one of the better tackle duos in the sport in Riley Mahlman at 87 and Jack Nelson at 87. Defensively, this should be one of the better pass Ds in the Big Ten, led by all Big Ten safety Hunter Wohler, who clocks in at 90 overall. With Ricardo Hallman at 91 overall, also returning at corner, they have multiple pieces to corral opposing passing attacks, and they have enough on the front seven to be a defensive test for any team they play. Oklahoma could be scoring sooner rather than later in EA Sports CFB 25 because this offense could whip defenses like a government mule. Jackson Arnold clocks in at 85 overall. The former five-star quarterback will have an easier time than most first-time starters acclimating to the game because he has one of the best skill rooms around. Running back Gavin Shawchuk grades out at 86 overall and provides the ground game spark, but fireworks could come through the air. Wide receiver Deion Burks, 88 overall. Jaleel Farouk, 87 overall. Nick Anderson, 86 overall. They could have this offense humming. Oklahoma has top talent on offense, but they also have it on defense. Linebacker Danny Stutzman is a top 5 rated player at the linebacker position at 91 overall. And when you add in studs like Billy Bowman at 90 and corner Woody Washington at 87, the Sooners are more than capable of being your go-to team, whether you're a Sooner fan or not. When you take control of Colorado in EA Sports CFB 25, there's not too much else to say other than prime time. Quarterback Shedeur Sanders clocks in as a top 2 quarterback at 93 overall, and he'll lead a high-octane offense that can attack every inch of the field. Don't take time to check your watch, though, because Shedeur might go down the field and score again before you look up. His main connection will be with one of the cover guys of the game, and a top-rated player, Travis Hunter, checks in at 95 overall. But it's not just those two, as Colorado has 9 other players clocking in at 83 or higher. That includes Shiloh Sanders at 86, Dayon Hayes at 85, and Jimmy Horn at 85. The Buffs are an absolute wild card in this game. Expect anything when it comes to Deion Sanders in Colorado. Ole Miss fans already know it, but if you're not aware, let me sell you on the Rebels this season. If you're looking for a prolific offense to utilize in EA Sports CFB 25, you came to the right place in Oxford. Dual threat quarterback Jackson Dart clocks in at 90 overall, and whether he's running or throwing, he'll be putting stress on SEC defenses. It helps when you have 3 wide receivers clocking in at 86 overall or higher, led by Trey Harris at 90, Juice Wells at 88, and Jordan Watkins at 86. And that's not it. The Rebels have top talent on defense too, especially with transfers from 24/7 Sports' #1 rated portal class. Walter Nolan is at Ole Miss now. He's rated 93 overall. That's the #2 defensive tackle in the game. The pass rush will be there too, behind Princely Umanamelian, rated 89 overall. Aggie fans, rejoice. It's time to enjoy the best home field advantage in college football, courtesy of EA Sports CFB 25. College Station is the place to control a roster and a dearth of top-end talent. Cornerback Connor Wegman clocks in at 88 overall. As a former 5-star talent, he's going to be able to make some throws that will drop your jaw. It helps when he's also handing the ball off to another 5-star in 85 overall, running back Reuben Owens, behind an offensive line that returns 4 starters, and the team portaled in a big-time amount of depth. I keep saying 5-star, but that's the trend because it continues on defense with multiple 5-stars lining up on the D-line, like Shamar Turner at 88, DJ Hicks at 85, but none may be better than their top defensive player, Nick Scourton. At 90 overall, he's set to disrupt timing games unlike any other player in the sport. What about the U? Miami set to be electrifying in EA Sports CFB 25. Quarterback Cam Ward transferred in from Washington State, and he'll start for the Hurricanes as he's the top-rated quarterback in the ACC at 89 overall after posting jaw-dropping seasons in Pullman. He's got the weapons to slice and dice defenses too. Wide receiver Xavier Restrepo comes in at 90 overall, and it's not surprising after he racked up over 1,000 yards last year. Once you're done doing that, just go ahead and hand it off to top 10 running back Damian Martinez, rated 91 overall, behind a pretty good offensive line, and opposing defenses might throw a controller or two. The defense is nothing to scoff at either, led by their top-rated defensive player Ruben Bain. He's rated 90 overall. Coming off the edge at 87 overall is linebacker Francisco Mauagoa. Patrolling the middle, teams won't have anywhere to go but to seek shelter from the storm that could be coming. FSU is coming off their first ACC title since 2014, and this team is coming for much more in 2024. They're going to be a dynamic team to play with in EA Sports CFB 25. DJ Uiagalelei, now the quarterback in Tallahassee, rated 86 overall. He takes command and provides dual threat ability that really lets this offense open up. Malik Benson at 85 overall comes in as their top wide receiver. They also have one of the top O-lines in the game as they have 5 players at 83 or higher. The defense isn't playing around either. Led by edge Patrick Payton, rated 90 overall, and elite playmakers in the secondary like Shaheem Brown at 89, Azariah Thomas at 88, and Fentrell Cypress at 87. There won't be too many windows to throw the ball into, and turnovers may come in bunches for the Seminoles. The reigning national champs in Ann Arbor may have sent the most players to the NFL, but you're going to enjoy playing with one of the most elite defenses in the game in EA Sports CFB 25. There may not be any interior D lineman that can cause the kind of havoc that Mason Graham and Kenneth Grant can, rated 95 and 91 respectively. You want to shut down a top wide receiver as well? Well, have no fear. Will Johnson is still here. He clocks in at 96 overall. He can handle that task without breaking much of a sweat as he's the top corner and a top 3 player in the game. Cover boy running back Donovan Edwards is at 91 overall, ready to take the reins of this offense and play the smash mouth football the Wolverines have grown accustomed to. The wide receiver options on the outside are ready to break out, but just when defenses think you're running the ball, you can run play action to top tight end Colston Loveland, rated 92 overall. He'll break your spirits, and they'll be playing hail to the victor in no time. Utah is a new team in the Big 12. They're also the top-rated team in the Big 12. And yet it's no surprise, given they have one of the best quarterback and tight end duos who are ready to prove why you shouldn't be sleeping on the Utes. Top 12 quarterback Cam Rising, rated 89 overall, and tight end Brant Kuth, rated 90 overall, are back after both missed 2023 with injuries. But you're going to be getting their full abilities in EA Sports CFB 25. Add in a big-time wide receiver addition in the portal in 87-rated Dorian Singer, and this offense is set to be able to fly over the Rocky Mountains and back with ease. How about the defense? It's pretty loaded. Loaded with experience, loaded with talent, led by top-rated linebacker Kareem Reed, rated 88, and corner Zamiah Vaughn, rated 87. This is a top 10 unit that opposing offenses will be flustered to find holes against. You're going to love playing with the Nittany Lions in EA Sports CFB 25. How could you not when they're going to have 2 of the top edges in the game in Abdul Carter, rated 91 overall, and Danny Dennis Sutton, rated 85 overall, making life for opposing quarterbacks a nightmare. They have talent in the back end too. Safety Kevin Winston is a 91 overall, and don't sleep on transfer corner A.J. Harris, 82 overall, to lead a revamped group that's bound to finish the season as a top 10 unit. How would you like to pair an elite defense with one of the best running back duos in the country? 87-rated Katron Allen, 91-rated Nick Singleton. They are the Thunder and Lightning, and Drew Aller at quarterback, graded at an 88 overall, will bring heavy storms to opposing defenses. By the way, get your Zombie Nation fill, and put it in a whiteout too, because the Nittany Lion is going to be going nuts once you run with these cats in State College. The Tigers of LSU, ready to slap that win bar and make some noise in EA Sports CFB 25. Learn the name of quarterback Garrett Nussmeier. He clocks in at 85 overall. He should fit right in with the lineage of LSU quarterbacks. Maybe like Heisman winners Joe Burrow and Jaden Daniels to continue slinging the rock all over the field in Baton Rouge, including to one of the top tight ends in the game in Mason Taylor, rated 90 overall. You'll have plenty of time to find the playmakers on the outside because you have one of the best tackle duos in the entire game. With Will Campbell rated 96 overall, he's the top offensive tackle in the game, and another top 3 player at his position, rated 90 overall, Emory Jones. So every facet of the offense will be available to you to find any and all creases in the defense. There are a few players who can single-handedly dominate on one side of the ball, but you're going to have to get one-on-one with linebacker Harold Perkins, who comes in at 92 overall, the top-rated player at his position. The Golden Helmets of the Fighting Irish, not the only glamorous thing about Notre Dame in EA Sports College Football 25. Quarterback Riley Leonard clocks in at 88 overall. He's one of the top-rated dual-threat quarterbacks in the entire game. They can run the ball too, especially with speedy tailback Jeremiah Love, rated 94 overall in the speed department. When you're ready to throw it, look at Mitchell Evans. The tight end is rated 90 overall. I may have buried the lead though because this Notre Dame defense is going to do some nasty things. Led by top 2 corner Benjamin Morrison at 94 and top 4 safety Xavier Watts at 92, this top 10 unit boasts 6 players rated 87 overall or better. So it doesn't matter who you control, you're going to rack up tackles for loss, sacks, 3 and outs quicker than a hiccup. The Clemson Tigers, the ACC's top-rated team in EA Sports CFB 25. Let's take a look at why. 5-star quarterback Cade Klubnik clocks in at 87 overall. He's a breakout candidate as he enters his second year as a starter. Behind a stacked offensive line, running back Phil Maffa rated 88 overall, set to run to Howard Drocken back in no time. The wide receiver options will be better than they've been in the past few years, led by Tyler Brown at 83 and Antonio Williams at 81 overall. You could pair them with tight end Jake Brenningstool, who checks in at 89 overall. The Tigers are also going to boast some of the best players on the defensive side of the ball in the country, starting with star linebacker 94 rated Barrett Carter. He's the top rated player at his position. Along with defensive tackle Peter Woods rated at a 90 overall, TJ Parker at 86, and Avion Terrell, the corner, at 86. You have elite players on every level of the defense to play with and give you a high level of versatility. Fresh off a year where Texas put the entire nation on notice, you now get a chance to take control of the Longhorns in EA Sports CFB 25 and see how many times you can get the Cannons to go off and rile up Beefy Bevo in his pen. Look no further than our cover boy, quarterback Quinn Ewers, who at 92 overall is a top 5 quarterback in the game. But to describe the offense in one word, speed. Led by Alabama transfer Isaiah Bond, who clocks in at 88 overall, and Silas Bolden and Matthew Golden clock in at 86 apiece. And he'll also be handing it off to one 5-star running back in CJ Baxter. He's an 87 overall. The Horns have the goods on defense too. Edge Trey Moore is a top 10 rated edge at 89. 5-star linebacker Anthony Hill clocks in at 86. And the secondary, Andrew Makuba, 89 overall. Malik Muhammad, 87 overall. Could this be one of the best in the SEC? Absolutely. The post-Saban era is here, but the Crimson Tide will still be an elite program. They clock in as the number 4 team. They may have one of the most fun players in EA Sports CFB 25 to play with. Quarterback Jalen Milroe, 90 overall. Not only can he throw the deep ball with impeccable timing, but he has the ability to run up and down the field with one of the highest speed ratings of any quarterback in the game at a 91. Jeremy Bernard transferred from Washington. He's at an 85 overall. The run game will be fierce too, as Alabama has a stable of backs to deploy behind a huge offensive line led by Tyler Booker. Just because Nick Saban left doesn't mean the defense is going anywhere. Led by Malachi Moore at 92 overall and Deontay Lawson, graded 90 overall. This unit is not only stacked with top talent, but loaded with depth. The Tide have 8 players clocking in at 83 or higher, including the number 1 kicker in the game in Graham Nicholson. The Tide gonna keep rolling in Tuscaloosa. The Oregon Ducks look like they have all the firepower they need to immediately contend as they clock in at number 3. Just look at the offensive firepower as to why you should play as the Ducks in EA Sports College Football 25. Led by Dylan Gabriel, he clocks in at 92 overall, top 5 quarterback overall. And now he has one of the most talented wide receiver duos in the country surrounding him. Tez Johnson returns from a 1,000-yard receiving season in 23, and he's a 91 overall. But he's not alone. Oregon brings in former 5-star wide receiver Evan Stewart. He clocks in at 90 overall. The defense is not far behind, led by Jabbar Muhammad at a 91 overall grade, Jordan Birch, 88, Jeffrey Bossa, 87. The folks in Eugene should be salivating to play with all the playmakers they have. OHIO. This is not your ordinary Ohio State team, though. They clock in with the #1 defense in EA Sports CFB 25. 10 players clock in with an 85 or better rating on defense alone, and that's led by safety Caleb Downs at 95 overall. The transfer from Alabama is the top safety in the entire game. They have the game's top-rated running back duo in Travion Henderson and Quinshon Judkins, who rate out at 93 and 95 respectively. It's Ohio State, so of course the wide receiver room is loaded. Emeka Egbuka returns at 93 overall. 85 overall, Carnell Tate, he's set to flash as a sophomore. And one of the top-rated true freshmen in the game, Jeremiah Smith, 84 overall. You'll have a veteran signal caller too. Kansas State transfer Will Howard at quarterback checks in at 85. He comes in and not only will he get the ball to these guys, but he'll have some sneaky run ability to make this one of the most difficult offenses to guard in the entire game. The #1 team in EA Sports College Football 25 is the Georgia Bulldogs at 95 overall. Look no further than their star quarterback, Carson Beck, who decided to return for another season as a big reason why Georgia is going to be tough to stop. Beck is a top 2 rated quarterback in the game, coming in at 93 overall. He'll have plenty of weapons to get the ball to, including their top returning wide receiver, 86 overall, Dominic Lovett, and rising tight end Oscar Delp. He's rated 90 overall. You won't have to only rely on the passing game, though. Florida transfer running back Trevor Etienne, 88 overall, leads a talented backfield behind one of the game's top offensive lines, head by the #1 guard in the game in Tate Ratledge. He checks in at 95 overall. As you'd expect, you'll also get to command some elite defensive players, such as edge Michael Williams at a 93 overall, and Malachi Starks at corner, a 95 overall. Both are top 5 players at their respective positions on the #2 rated defense in the game.